Well, good morning. Welcome to Thursday morning's thought for today. We're working through this slightly tricky passage from Mark's Gospel, chapter 6, verses 1 to 6 this week. And we've been thinking about the reaction of Jesus, the folk he grew up with in the town of Nazareth, but also his relatives. And we know that we thought yesterday about the family circle, and I didn't mention the fact that we remember from Mark's Gospel how Jesus' brothers and mother came to him at one point to try and to coax him away from his ministry because they thought he'd gone out of his mind. He was causing a stir, and they couldn't understand quite what he was doing. And there was this problem with his family circle, and we thought yesterday about the problems with families, etc. And that's a big topic. And I do really hope and pray that we think hard about that, and we pray about it, and we understand and are empathetic towards those within our family circle who maybe find faith a difficult thing, and maybe find it difficult living with somebody who professes faith. It's not easy, and we continue to pray for all families that are going through those sort of issues at the moment. But this morning we want to think really about this issue that comes up, that Mark's use of the words that he uses here. We want to try and explain them away somehow. We want to try and give them a different meaning. We want to try and say, oh, there's a different way of looking at that in the Greek. But the words I'm looking at are really the verse 5 where it says, and he could do no mighty work there except he laid his hands on a few sick people and healed them. And he could do no mighty work there. In other words, he could perform no miracles in that place. He could not do it. Now, there is no other way of saying it. Mark is basically saying he was not able to. And we want to try and explain that a different way, because to us it almost sounds as if the people of Nazareth have somehow taken Jesus' power away from him. That he is not powerful enough to do the mighty things that he did. He's not powerful enough to do the miracles, the healings, etc. that he's done in other places. That somehow the people of Nazareth have this incredible power, that they took the power away from Jesus so that he was not able, he could not do it. And that's not actually the case. Now, there are at least two ways of looking at this. You could look at it and say, oh, well, obviously Jesus has no power because they took that power from him. They took the power in such a way because they refused to believe, therefore they would not let Jesus do the things he wanted to do. And so he was helpless and he couldn't do anything about it. And no matter how hard he tried to heal people, he couldn't do it. But that's not what Mark's saying. Mark's not saying that Jesus actually went around trying to heal people, trying to cure people, trying to do these miracles, but somehow just wasn't able to. The power wasn't there. He had somehow lost his ability to do that. That's not what Mark's saying. What Mark is actually saying is that because of their lack of faith, they had turned away from Jesus. Now, all the way through Mark's Gospel, you'll find Jesus encountering people. And so often, as with the lady who had the bleed for 12 years, so often Jesus says, it's your faith that has healed you. In other words, because you believed that I was able to do this, that my response to you is my response to your faith. And your faith and my power together have created this healing within you. So in a sense, Jesus wasn't able to do it because those who were sick, those who had issues, those whom he could have helped, didn't come to him. They didn't believe him because that's Jesus. Look, we know his family. We know where he was when he lived here. We know he was a carpenter. Why would I go to him? Why would I go to him? Look, I'll cope with this. Whatever it is, I'll get on with it. And so he couldn't do those things because the faith wasn't there to come. Those who came to him, and some must have come to him because we read, if you remember those words there, except that he laid his hands on a few sick people and healed them. Okay, so there must have been sick people who maybe thought, I have heard about him and I just can't go on like this, so maybe Jesus can help. And that mustard seed of faith, and maybe Jesus can help me, maybe he can do this, was enough for Jesus to respond and heal them and to do a mighty work. And so this is what, we thought about this on Sunday. This idea, if we do not believe that Jesus is able to do these things in our lives, if we refuse to believe that he has the power to do these things, then they're not going to happen. Of course they're not going to happen. Why would they happen? Jesus has nothing to prove to you if you do not believe he is able. And so I want you to examine the things in your life where you've maybe shut the door to Jesus and said, no, you know what? You're not going to be able to do anything about this. Nobody can do anything about this. This is beyond what anyone can do. And to reassess what Jesus is capable of doing and to believe that he can do anything. Jesus said, nothing will be impossible to you if you have faith. Wow, what a challenge that it is our faith that comes to Jesus and Jesus responds to our faith and does the things which Mark refers to as mighty deeds, mighty works. So these people had no power over Jesus whatsoever. They hadn't stripped him of his power. They hadn't somehow stopped him from doing the things he was trying to do. He wasn't trying to do these things. He didn't do them because there was no request. Nobody wanted him to do them because nobody believed he could do them because this is just Jesus. And we know him. He couldn't do this. So take encouragement today. Take faith today. Take this step of believing that Jesus can do those things in your life that maybe you've ruled out. Maybe you said, no, it's beyond anyone's help. Jesus can do it. Jesus has the power. No one can take that power from him. Hopefully you have a good Thursday and see you again in the morning. God bless.